your batteries. Check. Emergency center. Check. Store up your water. Check. And board up your window. Check. So you got to place it. Check. Before it is too late. Check. Disaster could happen anytime, any place.
Welcome to From Danger to Safety, the official disaster preparedness program from the National Emergency Management Agency, Nema. This show is proudly brought to you by our sponsor, National Caribbean Insurance. Stay with us as we move from danger to safety.
In the sun or in the rain, life's a journey, joy and pain. But NCI's here day and night, always here for you, making it right. Always here for you. Always. With NCI, you've got a friend. Always here for you. Always. Right here till the very
At National
end.
Caribbean Insurance, you are covered and secure. We're your partner, your protector, your peace of mind. So for home, for health, for life, choose NCI because we're always here for you. Always.
Always here for you. Always. With NCI, you've got a friend. Always here for you. Always. Right here till the very end. Always here for you. Always. With NCI, you've got a friend. Always here for you. Always. Right here till the very end.
On today's program, we continue to learn lessons from Hurricane Beryl as we focus on a unique challenge familiar to our region, responding to disasters in a multi-island state. We are joined by Petal Rush, who was the acting permanent secretary in the Ministry of National Security, Home Affairs, Disaster Management and Information in Grenada when Hurricane Beryl made landfall. Ms. Rush will share her experiences and a unique perspective on the complexities of coordinating a relief effort across the waters to support the islands of Carriacou and Petite Martinique. She'll highlight the challenges faced when resources are limited and the seat of government is miles away from the hardest hit areas.
Good morning. My name is Petal Rush. Presently, I'm the acting permanent secretary with responsibility for social development and gender affairs within the Ministry of Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs. Hurricane Beryl, on a personal level, it was eye-opening. It was very thought-provoking, and I must say it was a surprise to me in terms of many of what the initiatives that had to be done. On a personal level, as it relates to family, it was a bit nerve-wracking and sometimes scary given the impact of the hurricane on our island as well as by extension on the family, my family, and of course other family members. So during Hurricane Beryl, I acted in two roles. Before the hurricane hit Grenada, I was acting as a permanent secretary within the Ministry of National Security, Home Affairs, Disaster Management and Information. After which, I was reverted back to my substantive post, which was Senior Planning Officer within the same ministry. Okay, so it was twofold. As I indicated before, I was tasked with the responsibility of coordinating our response and of course our preparation mechanism. Before the hurricane hit, I was responsible for helping lead in many of the preparatory role of our stakeholders, ensuring our stakeholders were prepared, ensuring that we as a ministry put in the necessary structures in place to ensure effective response after the hurricane. Through this partnership, we were able to task necessary responsibilities to our internal staff, ensure that the areas that would be significantly affected were prepared, and of course, once the all clear was given, we at our ministry were able to respond effectively and efficiently. I must say I was given an important role After the passage of Hurricane Beryl and given the significant outpouring of support from our regional and internal partners, I was tasked with the responsibility of being the focal point to coordinate our relief effort. That role was significant. Although the ministry, there was a relief committee in place, the relief focal point was the main conduit between our regional partners and the government of Grenada. This provided for clear and timely communication. It also helped with our coordinating mechanism among our internal stakeholders. However, as part of that role, I was responsible for ensuring that whenever relief has been communicated in terms of transportation and, of course, entry into the state, I was tasked with the responsibility of coordinating with all the major stakeholders, namely airport, port, as well as customs, to ensure smooth and effective clearance for transition up to Carriacou and Petite Martinique. I must state though, Carriacou is 1 hour and 1.5 hours away from Grenada. Therefore, it was challenging to implement response by air and water. Although we experienced in Grenada 2 hurricanes, one in 2004 and 2005 respectively, this was the first time Grenada had to implement a massive relief effort over water and air. That required efficient coordination among our stakeholders. Although it was a first, we did have hiccups in the beginning, but we were able to implement structures that facilitated that smooth transition across all sectors. This was important given the devastating effects of Hurricane Beryl to Carriacou and Petite Martinique. I must say, our regional partners, it was important for the focal point to have that open dialogue. So therefore we can state what our relief items, what we needed. We have to communicate it clear and timely, and to ensure that whatever we receive, it would be used for the persons who were affected. I must say that our regional partners really assisted, and we want to express our thanks even to the government of St. Kitts, which assisted us significantly in our relief response. Many of the transportation facilities from Grenada to Carriacou are privately owned. And as a consequence, we had to foster and develop a strong relationship with persons within the private sector. Of course, that relationship required, of course, financial and as well as partnership that may not result in financial compensation. I must say the private sector stepped up and took a holistic view of what has been done, and were able to help us as a ministry to fulfill our mandate in ensuring our response mechanisms are effective and efficient. Secondly, one of the things that were key is the coordination between our 2 port facilities. Carriacou is a very small island, and of course the facilities was very small. So as a consequence, we had to do a coordination mechanism that facilitate frequent replenishment of supplies, as well as ensuring that the system is not overburdened, that the response mechanism would be halted or hindered. So we were able, the challenges was responding by air and sea, which our disaster plan did not provide sufficient guidelines. So during that time, we had to innovate and to implement new structures that were not traditionally implemented before. Yes, I must say we saw the impact of the work that we did. One, we were able to see relief items reaching the people of Carriacou timely. We were able to address the important needs based on the list of relief items that were published. We were able to have open and frank communication with our internal and external stakeholders, and also it allowed for a multifaceted approach in how our response mechanism were implemented. I must say it went against our traditional approach to relief, but this was necessary given that our response was not according to the normal response mechanism, but we had to innovate and restructure to ensure that we can respond by air and sea in an effective manner. It was important to note that the government of Grenada had to implement new measures and of course take hard decisions that went against even some of the traditional structures that were in place. We had to build strong relationship with the private sector, as well ensure that the public sector internal structures supported and facilitated whatever effort the ministry did. Although the Ministry of National Security led the effort, the work of the various ministries, that of Works, Agriculture, was significant in responding to the needs of the persons of Carriacou. I must say, in disaster management, it is key to note that although you have a disaster plan, there are times where you have to divert to ensure the needs of the people are met and to ensure that you as an individual meet the necessary mandate has been given to you. Relief was not only categorized in one element, but we saw it across different sectors in different ways and different approaches. So therefore it was key as a ministry that we find a way, even if the relief may not fit into the standard structure, but we have to ensure that all areas are covered by whatever relief that has been given. One of the key lessons is coordination among your stakeholders, both private, internal, and external. This is key. As a government, it is difficult to mount a response mechanism on your own. Different players must play their role to ensure that we meet the needs of persons. It had to be efficient and effective because persons were at a point where they needed the assistance, and we as a ministry had to ensure that those needs are being met. And of course, it's in many cases it was life and death situation. So the coordination within and among the various ministries, as well with the private and external agencies, was key in mounting an efficient response mechanism. So that is one of the key lessons learned. Government cannot mount a response mechanism on their own. The input of our stakeholders was key in meeting the needs of persons. And another issue that many of the times we have to put aside our personal ambitions and look at the holistic ambitions of government. Because at the end of the day, whatever decision you make, it may help you propel or hinder your ability in meeting the needs of persons who desperately need your support.
That's all the time we have for today's episode of From Danger to Safety. We'd like to extend a special thank you to our guest, Ms. Petal Rush from Grenada, for providing such a vital perspective on the complexities of disaster response in a multi-island state. Her insights on Hurricane Beryl and the relief effort in Carriacou and Petite Martinique remind us of the unique challenges and opportunities we face as a region. A special thank you to our sponsor, National Caribbean Insurance, for making this program possible. The program is aired every Tuesday at 1 p.m. on Ziz Radio with a rebroadcast on television at 8 p.m. It will also be available on Nema's YouTube channel and Facebook page. For more information on disaster preparedness, follow us on our social media channels. Join us again next time.
So you got to play safe before it is too late. Disaster could happen anytime, any place. In the sun or in the rain, life's a journey, joy and pain. But NCI's here day and night, always here for you, making it right. Always here for you. With NCI, you've got a friend, always here for you, right here to there.
At National Caribbean Insurance, you are covered and secure. We're your partner, your protector, your peace of mind. So for home, for health, for life, choose NCI because we're always here for you. Always.
Always here for you. With NCI.